Hi there, I'm Ben Morton and welcome to the Leaders Kit Bag, your go-to podcast for practical leadership insights in just 6 minutes. In each episode, we tackle real challenges faced by leaders and managers, offering actionable tools and strategies you can take away and immediately apply. And because leadership doesn't happen in a studio, these episodes are mostly recorded outside on the move. They're raw, unscripted, and straight to the point. So, wherever you are, let's dive in and sharpen your leadership skills 6 minutes at a time. In today's episode of the Leaders Kit Bag, I want to talk to you about what I call fire and forget goal setting and help you understand if you, just occasionally, might be guilty of this yourself. Now, we might have set people in our team a big, hairy, audacious goal, or BHAGs as they sometimes get called. But is that alone enough to guarantee success and ensure that the people in our team will actually deliver on that goal? The answer, most of the time, is of course no. But the thing is, we do it. We fall into the trap of setting goals and then forgetting all about providing support. And when we do that, it's a little bit like sending a group of 14-year-olds off on a 2-day expedition in the wilderness, expecting them to arrive somewhere 40 miles away in 2 days' time without having any checkpoints along the way. If we don't have those checkpoints or milestones when we're on an expedition in the wilderness, or when we're working towards big goals in the workplace, we can easily lose our motivation and we can easily drift off course. And that is what I want to help you with in today's episode of the Leaders Kit Bag. The very first thing I want you to lock into your head is the fact that what might seem like quite an achievable goal for you could be massively overwhelming for people in your team. You see, as leaders and managers, we have the benefit of hindsight and experience. Many of the things we are asking people in our team to do, we have done ourselves before, or at least have some familiarity with. So a goal for us that seems a stretch but achievable could be hugely intimidating, anxiety-inducing, or just too big and confusing for those in our team. And that means it's our job as leaders to help the people we lead and manage to bridge that gap. And we can do this in a number of ways. The first and most obvious way is just to help them break that goal down. Again, it's often easy and obvious for us to do that because of our experience, but those in our team haven't got quite as much experience. So that task alone could be a lot harder for them. And of course, if they are feeling overwhelmed or anxious by the scale of the goal, it's going to be even harder for them to think logically and rationally and break it down. So as leaders, we can help by giving them some direction around the very first step, by giving them a picture, creating a picture of the journey ahead, and helping them understand what success looks like in a week, in 4 weeks, in 2 months, in a year. And when we do that, it slowly starts to feel more realistic and more achievable for them, even if it is still stretching. And the second thing we must do as leaders when we're setting these big stretching goals is not to fire and forget. We need to make sure we are working with our people to review the goals, give them that shot of motivation in the arm and help them reset or course correct. In my first job after leaving the military, I was given a set of incredibly stretching, ambitious weekly recruitment targets for a 9-month period. Now, 6 months in, it was apparently obvious, plainly obvious, that I had zero chance of hitting those goals, those weekly goals. And I was given absolutely no opportunity to reset them. The impact, it was massively demotivating. More so because I had a big chunk of performance-related pay based upon those weekly targets. So, you see, it's critical for us to be there for the team, to support them, to help them set up those regular milestones and check-ins, and understand that the situation and context changes. So we might need to adjust the plan or shift some of the sub-targets or milestones along the way. And when we do that, we can help our team to achieve some of these big, hairy, audacious goals that we might be setting. That's it for this episode of the Leaders Kit Bag. If you've got any specific questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes of the Leaders Kit Bag, send them to me via an email, chat@ben-morton.com, or drop them in the comments wherever you happen to be watching or listening to this episode. And that is it for this episode, folks. So until next time, look after yourself, look after those you've got the privilege and responsibility to lead. And until next time, lead on.